Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. It is 2026, yet another year that is filled with so much sports. And as a matter of fact, it is the AFCON that is going on right now. And competitions around the world talk about football, talk about athletics, talk about any other sporting activities across the world. It's a time really that 2026 is promising to be one very good year for sports. And as we go by, we'll be talking about the talk of the continent right now, African Cup of Nations, and this is happening in Morocco. And yes, it is Egypt versus it is Morocco versus the Lions of Teranga, Senegal. I am with my very able pundit and a very good administrator of football in Kenya, Mr. Lordvic Aduda, with whom we shall be dissecting and looking at a number of things, beginning from Kenya Premier League, getting to AFCON, we have WAFCON, and other things that surround what football is supposed to be. Thank you very much. My name is Nick Okello. Karibu sana and Happy New Year, CEO Lordvic Aduda.
Happy New Year to you too, Nick.
Yes, yes, indeed. We have so much on the tray. In the tray, rather, we have so much that is going on around the continent, in the country, and even internationally. What is your take about the Kenyan Premier League, which right now Gor Mahia is sitting at the apex, but with the one game still in hand, and FC Leopards showing every good sign for the first time in very many years that indeed they are competing to be crowned the league champions?
Thank you very much. I think so far so good. We are witnessing, more or less a slight resurgence of the competition in the ongoing Kenya Premier League, popularly known to now as Sports Pesa Premier League. We can see that each and every match day, there are differences, in terms of positioning in the table, because if, for instance, at match day 16, the difference in points between the team currently at the apex, Gor Mahia, and the top 10 or the top 5 is basically 1 or 2, max 3 points. That means that teams have really taken, seriously, their first leg matches, which I believe are ending this weekend. We are most likely witnessing, a situation where, unlike in the past, where the team at the apex at the end of first leg, there was usually a huge gap in terms of points garnered. But that is not the case this time round. And I therefore believe that with the window, the winter window currently ongoing, the teams are getting serious to try and boost their respective squads in readiness for kickoff of the second leg.
Well, what perhaps did you say is contributing towards this resurgence? And on this particular case, I'd love to pick on AFC Leopards, a team that has struggled for over 25 years to even get a proper footing into this competition. They've never been anywhere in the pursuit of the glory of the league. But this time round, we are looking at everything that is being done, and yet we didn't see so many signings. We didn't see a serious activity in terms of strengthening of the squad. It is still Ambani, the coach, who was there the last 2 seasons, and the team seems to be picking up itself. What would be the reason behind this?
Well, football is not instant coffee, and I believe FC, in my own very honest opinion, is a team. The current squad is a team to watch, because they have systematically, tried to build up the team. And you see, they went in for young, upcoming, talents who for the past 2-3 years have gelled together. And that is why they are actually exhibiting the kind of football that we are witnessing, And with a little bit of inclusion, either now or in the summer window, then we will witness come 2026-2027 season a completely different outfit in terms of AFC Leopards.
Yes, indeed. And you look at FC Leopards and you imagine a team that is doing everything right. From fan mobilization, right now I see they have a very well structured way of reaching the fans. We are looking at the way they attend their matches. We are looking at the playing team, I mean the playing unit itself, the technical bench. Seems something has been right. Is it the coming of, is it Boniface Alfred, Boniface Ambani? As the chair, and the brother is the coach. Is there any chemistry? Somebody told me that, well, these brothers were playing, the last time they played together for FC Leopards, FC Leopards were crowned the champions. And now again, they are at the administrative end, one as the manager, one as the chairperson, and they are showing every good sign. Are they having some very good tidings with the club?
Well, what must be appreciated is the fact that the two brothers know exactly what they are doing, having been, good footballers during their, playing career. And I believe the exposure, of the current chairman, president of AFC Leopards, Mr. Boniface Ambani, having also had stints professionally outside the country, must have also, besides playing, learned a few tricks on strategic management and strategic development of the outfit, which we are seeing now. AFC, as you rightfully say, are doing things the correct way, so to speak. I mean,
They're having it right.
they are having it right. It is not yet there, but if they continue with what is currently happening in AFC, in all spheres, look at what they are doing. They have established, a club secretariat being, manned by Namai, who also is an old hand in terms of football administration. They have, a good, setup in terms of fan and membership drive, So, and of course, we are also seeing the mojo that has been brought into the playing unit. So it is, work in progress, in my view.
Okay, thank you, and we wish FC Leopards all the best in their very well-structured approach to football management. I believe that is what every other club should do. And Gor Mahia is sitting at the apex on a goal difference, however with one game in hand. Kakamega Homeboys have pulled up. We've seen a very good run from Muranga Seal, who are struggling the other day for relegation, at the relegation point. In fact, the last match of last season rescued them into the league. Today we are looking at a team that has gotten some very good resurgence, and Muranga Seal seem to have gotten the right chord right now. What is it that is happening? Because Kakamega Homeboys as well is showing very good signs. What is happening?
I think both Muranga Seals and Kakamega Homeboys, have decided to invest heavily, in young players who have the energy, and of course they also have, respected coaches. Like if we take the example of Muranga Seal, Osborne Monday is not just a coach. He was a talented player during his career, and both at the club and as well as at the national, team level. So he knows exactly what to do, and the demeanor also. He's a soft-spoken guy, very focused, and we find that majority of the players now are young, upcoming, and who needs to be handled differently from the way some of these coaches have been handling, the players. The tactics of the yesteryears definitely will not work with the current generation of players who are now, being recruited into the respective teams.
Well, I think We wish all the teams in the SportPesa Premier League well as they continue right into the second leg of this league that is promising to have a very, very good competition going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, that is what we have from the local league, and now we want to take a look at what was happening in Morocco. And in Rabat, we just witnessed the hosts shove aside Nigeria in a spectacular penalty kickoff where Nigeria had very awful penalty takers on that day. I don't think that is Nigeria, the penalty takers. I would doubt that. Some of them would think were just tired and wanted to give away the slot for the finals. And Morocco went out to the assignment, especially the goalkeeper Bono stood out for the team. And yes, they are at the finals at home, and it's going to be bigger. The Lions of Teranga, Senegal, propelled to the finals by their very best player of all time, Sadio Mane, who made it 1-0. And indeed, Egypt packed to go home. And I could see Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane, once a very powerful duo for Liverpool, embracing so well, and it reminded me as a Liverpool fan of the good old days under Jurgen Klopp. What's your take, CEO, about the semi-finals and now the finalists?
I think if you look at the just ended semi-final matches, one thing that we must realize is that at that level, if you look at the squads that were lined up by the four, semi-finalists, they are real professional players.
Top talent.
Top talents, Two, at that level, what counts is not, individual, flair. Yeah. In as much as at times individual flair, makes a difference. But let us take, for example, the match between Egypt and Senegal.
And Senegal.
Yeah. To me, it ought to have been the final.
It ought to have been the final.
It ought to have been the final, given, the kind of techniques, the power, the individual flair of the players, and the tactical disciplines, save for a few instances where there were bad calls, that would probably have changed, the outcome of the match. If we look at the semi-final between Nigeria and Morocco, I believe, too, that Nigeria went into that match with a little bit of uncertainty, especially given the fact that they carried, along the fact that they have not, really been good neighbors with Ghana. I could see before the match that people are not really very comfortable with the fact that it was a Ghanaian referee who was appointed to be the CR, the center referee in that match. So football, 80% of the results are usually coming from, outside the 90 minutes. So some of these psychological effects could have also affected, the real expectations of Nigeria. But be it as it may, we find that some of those penalty takers did not, in my view, realize what was at stake. I mean, that was a matter of life and death, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was so casual at one point. I thought these guys were in a training.
It was a training. They did not at some point give us the actual flair, expected of a match of that magnitude. But having said that, of course, now we are looking forward to the third, place playoff between Egypt and Nigeria tomorrow, and then we expect a real tough match on Sunday during the finals now, pitting Senegal versus the hosts. All the odds will be against Senegal, of course, given that the entire stadium will be packed, in support of Morocco. And there have been instances where pundits believe that there could be, their 12th hand in terms of trying to push Morocco to their win, come the finals.
Well, it is the final of the Lions. The Atlas Lions versus the Teranga Lions. We are looking at a situation where we don't know which side of the lion or which lion will roar more than the other. But like you say, the Atlas Lions have the home advantage, and the 12th man would play a key role.
Right.
However, Arsenal has in it a constellation of top talents across Europe,
Right.
better than Morocco.
Right.
And so we expect really a mouth-watering clash between the two lions.
The two lions.
And you've spoken about officiating in this tournament. A lot has been pointed towards officiating. What is wrong with our level of officiating in Africa? Should CAF do something about this? Or are there other things that play out? Because I don't understand.
There are rumors that there are certain, moments of interference. One such example was when at the round of 16, the match pitting the hosts against our neighbors Tanzania, that people think that just before the start of the match, we saw clips of a Moroccan official really engaging, the match officials before the kickoff. And what we saw during the match, particularly in the last 10 minutes or so of the match, kudos to Taifa Stars. There was almost a clear foul that ought to have been given to Tanzania. I mean, should the referee have given out that call, I believe that the results might have been different, of course. But as usual, there is a tendency that there's always the need to push, the host country to the next levels, so that the magnanimity of the tournament is realized. So I hope the Sunday match will not, give us a situation where we will be coming back to talk about what we are actually talking about.
Yeah, it's so disturbing, and it's worrying again if we are hosting that level of tournament in Africa. And people still have this feeling, no, everywhere in the world there's no perfect officiating, but something better should come out of it. Even if there are moments of disapproval from the fans or people feel disenfranchised because of other decisions, I still believe that we can do better as Africa, because the match against Taifa Stars and Atlas Lions, like you said, raised a lot of concern and a lot of talk in this tournament. That's a pointer that was there. So I believe that CAF perhaps can do something about that.
Well, there is a referees department at CAF, and there is, the referees appointment committee at CAF. But Grapevine has it that there's a little bit of interference, more so when at almost the onset of CAF, of the current AFCON, the director of the referees appointment was relieved of his duties. But at the same time, we do find that CAF should make very deliberate decisions to safeguard African football, because majority of the teams have played under very horrible weather conditions. At times, even trainings, were held during really heavy downpour. A factor that should be looked at by CAF, so that they can, in the future, avoid hosting the tournament, especially in areas where the weather conditions are not, palatable to the participating teams.
Morocco, as a country, are you convinced they've done enough for the upcoming major tournaments, including World Cup 2030?
Well, I believe in terms of infrastructure, in terms of organization, Morocco is far ahead of all the member associations, of CAF. And I believe they are working towards this time constructing, I believe, the biggest or the largest stadium in the world. I am informed that they want to construct a stadium which will have a capacity of 115 or 125,000 spectators. That is definitely
How many decks?
That is going to
how many decks going up?
That is going to be a village, a city in itself. A monument that has never ever been seen in the entire.
Bigger than what you have in Brazil, the
Maracana Stadium.
The Maracana Stadium.
Right.
Bigger than that.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. 25. That's big.
It's massive.
That's massive. That's massive.
Yeah.
It's never been anywhere in the world. That's the first one we'll be witnessing.
Yes.
So you think Morocco is ready for this?
Morocco, I think, by the time World Cup will be played, they will definitely be ready. I mean, this to them was a precursor of how best, they can be able to also host a tournament of such magnitude.
Your bet. You said Morocco has the advantage of the 12th person.
Yes.
But football is football.
Football is football. And if you look at the current Teranga Lions squad, they are hungry to convince the world that they are the best in Africa.
So you are placing your bet anywhere. You are so cautious. Okay, CU is cautious. He doesn't want to say that it's the Lions of Teranga or the Atlas Lions who will be carrying it. I want to place my bet with the Lions of Teranga. From what you said, looking at the quality of the players they have around them, all this, I want to try and believe they should take us places. However, that is still Africa, one Africa, and we hope that the winner be the winner anyway.
Yeah, but the best team prepared emerge victorious.
Magic victorious. Now, before my director is just telling me that we should wind up. Before we wind up, we also have WAFCON 2026 draw that actually just came out. And in this draw, I can see there are 4 groups. Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D. All these have countries that are known for proper football. And I can see right now that in Group A we have Morocco, Algeria, Senegal and Kenya. Kenya finds herself with 2 North African countries and 1 West African country in the name of Senegal. Now, let's talk about Group A. Where we sit, our team, our girls, are we going to compete or we are going to honor the fixtures?
I believe we are going to compete. The fact that we are in a group of Morocco, Algeria, and Senegal, I'm only worried that if we do not have adequate preparations, and 2, if we do not interfere with the team selection, and we are going to compete. We are not just going to honor the fixtures.
They are going to compete.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, in this group, who would be Apart from the hosts in Morocco, who again would be a hard nut to push here? Is it Algeria or Senegal versus Kenya?
Senegal, to me, would be a tougher group, a tougher opponent.
Yeah.
Given the physicality of the West African girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Group B, Ivory Coast, South Africa, Burkina Faso, and Tanzania. Another East African country featuring here.
Tanzania has come of age. You remember a couple of years ago, the under-17 girls team, participated in the World Cup, which was held in India. And if you look at the women football, the Premier League currently ongoing, they have had an opportunity to really develop, women football. Yeah. If you look at, say, Yanga, Simba Queens, JKT, the Azam, really Fountain Gates, they have really developed, a very cohesive and competitive, women Premier League. So that can also be translated into, a formidable national team. Just like what we witnessed during the now to ending AFCON, yeah, the Taifa Stars, particularly the squad that played against the Atlas Lions, 8 of the first 11 players were from the local league. So it means that the Tanzanian league is also, improving. South Africa have had an opportunity at some point to be champions of AFCON. They have had an opportunity to participate in the World Cup. They have had an opportunity to also participate in the Olympics. So they are better placed in that particular group. If you go to Group C, yeah,
Nigeria, Zambia, Egypt, Malawi.
I think, in my view, that is the toughest group. Because
Group C.
Group C, because we have two teams that have perennially, participated in AFCON, participated at the World Cup, and participated in the Olympics. That is Nigeria and Ghana. And we are also not leaving, counting Egypt out of, that group. Group D, same to Group C, yeah, where we have Ghana and Cameroon. These are also perennial contenders, and at one point former, AFCON champions, so to speak.
Mali and Cape Verde.
Mali, Cape Verde is a work in progress. I think they want to take cue of their male, counterparts who have also grown with time, eventually making it to World Cup. So the fact that the winners, I think the top 4, yeah, in AFCON get the opportunity to represent the continent in the World Cup. So they would also try to go out there to prove that their male counterparts' qualification to World Cup 2026 was not a fluke.
Wasn't a fluke.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And as usual, from LTN Dialogues, we've been chatting with CEO Lordvic Aduda, who has gone deep into giving us analysis of countries, especially on the AFCON categories, who are going to participate in these competitions. And indeed, that is why we say at LTN, this is where you get everything right. All the analysis, all the news, all the reviews, all the updates must be always here. And always give us your thoughts as well on our social media pages. Thank you very much for having shown up once again, and to our technical crew and everybody else, I say thank you. My name is Nico Kelo. I've been your host all this long. Thank you. Till we meet again.
Thank you.